everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday, the 24th of June. We're still in June. Hope you all are well and that you've had a good week. And it sounds like some of you have been doing some weaving and you're hoping for rain. And yes, to those of you in California, we've seen the fires too. So they're ramping up in Colorado. So I'm hoping that we get some rain without lightning. Anyway, glad you all are here and I hope you've had a good week. And I'm still working on this little piece. I think the answer to this piece is don't let a piece sit on your loom for 3 or more years because you lose your heart for it, and I probably should have just finished it right here and cut it off. But here we are. We're just going to experiment and do a little more weaving on it before it is finished. I am enjoying weaving on this big old pipe loom. So it's not a big pipe loom, it's a long pipe loom. So what I'm doing is, I don't know what the original plan for this piece was. Hopefully it was, yeah, I knew that it had stripes. Pride flag stripes in it, and there was no way I wanted to keep weaving that. I was super bored with it. So anyway, I have a different plan that includes a morphing of, I'm gonna switch the camera already, a changing of another version of a flag that has these other diagonals in it, which is more challenging because you have to get these angles right. So I was working on this weekend trying to get this angle. I was guessing that it would be with this yarn 2 steps up, 1 step over, and it turns out that that was right on, which is actually lucky. Doesn't always happen that way. I've woven enough with this yarn that I had a pretty good feeling for where that angle was going to be, but if you're using a yarn you don't know very well, trying to figure out what an angle is exactly might take some sampling. Because obviously if I'm weaving along and the angle is wrong, if I make a jog in it, then the line won't be straight. And I wanted this to be a nice straight line. So that is where I am on this crazy piece. So good morning, everybody. I was actually reading your comments before jumping on today. So welcome from all over. Y'all are here from all over the place. I see a few new people. Hey, Benjamin, good to see you. Who cares what date? Yeah, Janet says who cares what date it is. I am having a hard time even remembering days of the week. I actually took an extended weekend this weekend, went to the mountains and did some hiking, and when I opened my planner this morning to plan out the week, I wrote Monday. So it is not Monday. Fortunately for you all, I remembered it was Wednesday. Anyway, yes. Cool. See, someone wished for rain and it started raining in New England anyway. Yes, Kathleen, I always use meet and separate for absolutely everything except pick and a few other. I didn't use it down here because of the joins, but meet and separate is a constant thing. Otherwise, stuff doesn't weave. So let's see, can you all see that? Hopefully. Sorry, it's a little cockeyed. I'm just doing a even diagonal. Eva, welcome from Spain. That's fabulous. It must be evening there, or late afternoon at least. I welcome Marta and all of you. Okay. If I focus on weaving, you'll actually get to see me weave something. Sometimes my brain is like a little rabbit, running all over the place. So I'm just building up this little angle. 3 warps wide for the most part on each of these, and 2 steps up to give me a nice straight line. So Kathleen, ask about the meet and separate stuff in your course. Slit tapestry is what we're doing, so there are always slits with meet and separate, unless you're doing a join like I did down here. And I find that the way I've taught meet and separate in the past is confusing to people. They feel like it's a separate technique, and it's not. It is the way tapestry weaving is always set up. So that's a really common question about meet and separate. But right now I don't have slits. The only way you'd have slits is if the colors were right next to each other going vertically, and there aren't any slits here. There were slits here, but I was using joins. So let's see, we've got 2. I know it seems confusing, and I know lots of people are. I get this question a lot, and so I'm working on ways to make it clearer in the online classes that meet and separate is just the way the wefts are set up. They always move in opposition no matter what. It's not a special technique, it's just that that's how it always is. It's like the foundation of tapestry weaving. In this style, other ways of weaving tapestry do not use meet and separate. For example, the Rio Grande weaving in New Mexico, and Navajo weaving, everything goes in one direction. In traditional European tapestry, everything is always done in meet and separate. Whew, I got off on meet and separate there. Hello, Marta from Argentina. Yes, Kathleen, I did the rainbow with, it's actually the James Kohler interlock, which I did it upside down, but. Oh, good. Eva said it is 6:41 in Spain. Glad it's not the middle of the night. I feel a little bad for people in Australia because it is the middle of the night there. I mean, bad if they wanted to come to Change the Shed. They can watch the repeat, I guess. Okay, so now I'm at a point here where I'm right here. So this color has to branch off and this line has to keep going straight. So before I can weave this line anymore, I have to fill in this purple part because it's underneath and everything underneath has to be woven first. So I'm going to go over here to this violet, which I switched to a different violet from this one for some reason. Have trouble with the violets. None of them are quite what I was looking for. I think as a dyer you get certain colors in your head that you really like, and then when a commercial yarn doesn't have that color, it kind of throws me off. And this is Weaver's Bazaar, and just the exact color of violet. They might make it, I just don't have it. So anyway, doesn't matter. This is 12 ends per inch, or did I say 10? That's either 10 or 12, with 2 strands of Weaver's Bazaar fine. Yeah, Mary, that's exactly what people are confused by with meet and separate. So when you're building up shapes, you're still using meet and separate, but it isn't obvious. So when I'm teaching it to start with, everything is in a line and you're going like this, meet and separate, and everything is moving together or apart, and that's obvious. But when you're building up shapes, you're still moving in opposition. It's just that one thing is weaving first. And so that's exactly what people are confused by. That here, this, and let's just look and see. Let me open this shed. You can see that this butterfly, I'm going to cause ridging there. This butterfly is going to come back in this shed, and this butterfly is going this way. So these two butterflies are not in meet and separate at the moment, just because I started a new one and it wasn't in the right shed. And I know ways to fix that. Right now it doesn't matter because they're not touching, but you know, this one's going this way in this shed. This one is also going this way in this shed. So what I will most likely do is add another butterfly in here to going in the opposite direction. So this one will be going this way, this one will be going this way, and this one will be going this way in the same shed. And that's meet and separate. Some people, I think, don't even call it meet and separate. They don't have a word for it. They're just like, well, that's how it works. So I apologize that sometimes that seems really confusing. It's just something that takes practice to learn. Okay, we're in this shed. So I'm going to open this shed so that you can see what I'm talking about. Wait, is this the shed this is in? Hold on. Let me open it farther. Yeah. This is the closed shed. So this one's going this way in that shed. It's probably hard to see. Don't think. Maybe I can do that. Well, that looks like it's focusing. Yay. So I'm going to add another color. It's funny how once I get started on a piece, even when I thought I didn't like it, then I get into it and I'm like, oh, that's fun. So sometimes it's just a matter of forcing myself to go back to it. So this tail is on this side going this way. This one I'm going to put a tail on this side going this way. And I'm just going to put it in for a couple, instead of confusing you with a wrap on the edge here, I'm just going to put it in so you can see that's a pigtail. Just ignore that if that didn't make sense. So in this shed, this one's going this way and this one's going this way. Meet and separate. I did do an eccentric outline there, which is the other thing that you can see in there, is that I put what I call split weft, where there's one of each color in the shed. So now though I have to figure out how to keep my steps the same so that my angle doesn't change. And I might do both of these at the same time. Okay, I think that's good. I've got only one there, so I need one more. I'm counting these to make sure this angle's right. I'm counting the, you probably can see that, the weft wraps, the relays. So there's 2 on that one, 2 on that one, 2 on that one. I hope I don't find an error, 2 on that one. Okay, cool, Kathleen. Yeah, you might be able to see it better now. See how there's little joints? It's hard to see. This is small. I did not, Maureen. I did not make up meet and separate. It is a super common term. That is a good question, though, because there are things that I did make up. Like the title, James Kohler join, I made that up. If you look for that in other books, you won't find it. It's just a special form of a weft interlock, the James Kohler join. But I can't think of can't really think anything else I made up, except the way I say eccentric. That's just a holdover from a different part of my life. I can't think of any other terms I made up, though. Someone will remind me of one. But no, meet and separate is a standard tapestry term. It's a great question. Yeah. I do splice, Mary. But this wasn't a place where I could splice. She asked if I splice with the Weaver's Bazaar. And I do, but this was not a place where it could be spliced. I had tails on each side coming together, so you can't. In the other shed, I could have spliced them, but I would have had to have shifted the shed to make the shed correct to do that, and I just didn't do it. I mean, that's certainly a possibility. There are many options. You just have to learn to play with all of them. Okay. One there. Got two there. After I get this basic angle set up, things will get a lot easier in this little weave. I only have, okay, there's two there, one there. Oops, okay. Kate, I did make up the term fringeless, but that was just as the title of the class. Although I do use it as a descriptor, don't I? Actually, Sarah's husband made up the term fringeless. It was his idea, which we both thought was fantastic. Sarah Sweat, who is the person who's teaching the for salvage method in the fringeless class. And it is true that we use that word to talk about a specific way of doing for salvage weaving. So you got me there, Kate. The bar join I did not make up, Marlena. Good one, though. I used to call it the Jenny Hansen technique, which you'll still see that in Warp and Weft, and Joan Baxter called it that, and she's the one who taught me. And then I realized that Kathy Todd Hooker has a join called the bar join, which is the same thing in one of her books. So I started calling it the bar join because it seemed like something probably that Jenny Hansen didn't make up, that it goes back farther than that. I don't really know, but I did not make that one up. But y'all are right to be searching for something else I made up, because I'm sure there is something I'm forgetting. Okay. Almost. That's a little bit lower there. So when you're building up shapes, totally legal. For whatever reason, I don't have as much yarn in there, so I'm just going to fill that low part in. Put a little more in there so it's even. Always looking at how much weft I'm getting in. There's too much of that turn, but okay, two there. Okay, so now, how long? Okay, this keeps going for a while. I'm going to put a dot on this warp so I don't. Goes to there. So I don't overshoot it. Yeah, Karen, it has gotten really interesting. I just couldn't abide the vertical stripes anymore. And now that I see all of this plain yellow, I wish that I had like made this more varied, but whatever. It's not a, it's just a piece for fun. I would like to get this loom emptied off so I can use it for something else. Most important thing with this angle is to keep it stepping over consistently. So there I only have one step right there. Even if it looks like it's wrong, I have to make sure I keep those steps even, because the angle will change, and also it packs in as I'm weaving, so it's deceiving. It looks like it's not right, but as long as I keep the steps the same, it will be. Do I have a float in there? Oh. Oh, Mary. Yeah, the head-to-head, tail-to-tail little dogs in some of my classes for Meet and Separate. I love that. In my little Untangled book, we have sheep that do head-to-head, tail-to-tail. And in my new book with Story, they also have sheep, but somebody else drew them. It wasn't the same illustrator as in the Untangled book. So they aren't as cute in the book from Story Publishing. But personally, I also like the dogs, Mary. I did not draw those dogs, though, or some sort of clip art that I modified. Maybe I should draw my own. Okay, that diagonal is coming right along. Sorry, I keep checking this. The black is really hard to see. We're not going to talk about me not having been to the optometrist yet. Okay, I'm going to add the brown here in a second. The next stripe, so you can see how I start that, if you're curious. Open shed, you just slide your fingers in. Closed shed is the other one. Summer, that's real funny. Summer wanted to know if I finished the bird. Let's see if I move my body. Okay, you see that loom right there? Here. There's the Araslan. Wait, sorry, there. The camera's backwards. No, I haven't finished the bird. I will bring the bird back. I will work on it. Because the bird is easier to see than this, I think. I don't know. It's upright, so it's easier for the camera anyway. I did actually intend to finish this one over the weekend and work on the bird, but as you can see, it was a hiking weekend and not a weaving weekend. That little spot right there is bugging me. I think it's going to pack in though. Okay, let's add the brown. So you can see how that starts. Oh, thanks, Karen, for the support on the yellow. You never really know about something until it's done anyway. Yeah, I agree about the gentle yellow. This was that acid yellow, which, here, let me move that up. This was so bright. I like this yellow much better. It's called, I think it's called like Buttercup or something. Oh, Soft Lemon. Soft Lemon. Not Liz Lemon. Okay, let's see if we can. All right, so we're going to match these steps and make it the very same, because this little design has a black, brown, baby blue, pink, and a white triangle in the middle. So I'll have to build up each of these stripes to this point, and then the white will build up, and then the pink will come back, and then so then the pink will go on top, and then the baby blue, and then the brown, and then the black, and then after that I can start filling in all of these colors. Order of operations. Now I'm just remembering that I started the black in that direction. Let's see if this works. I still, after all these years, don't always get the meet and separate right. So it's tempting to start this in the other direction because, well, here, I'll start it and then I'll show you what I would do with that tail. Let me make sure this weaves first though. Yep, we're good. So what my brain did right there was it remembered that I started the black wrapped the other way around this edge warp. So I knew that to make this do meet and separate between the brown and the black, I had to start this in the other direction. So I wrapped it around this warp the other way. I don't like doing that because it comes out the front and that is really annoying to me. So this is what I am sure this is one thing Sarah Sweat would do, because she talks about it in her tucking the tails thing. Gosh, I wish this were a smaller needle. I'm actually going to sink this into the second warp channel here. Basically all I'm doing is pulling this tail around to the back, because it will bother me a lot if it's on the front the whole time when I'm weaving from the front, which does seem a little odd, doesn't it? Because I weave from the front so much. I'm always looking at tails, but this is what the back looks like. I can't remember who keeps asking me to see the back, but trying to remember. So that got rid of that tail that was, oops, that was right here on the front. Normally I needle things in when it's off the loom, but some irritations you just can't live with. Ooh, that side. So adding that color, it wants to, can you see how that wants to bow out right there? It's a small area. I have to make sure to keep it from traveling outwards. Also something of an optical illusion. Three. Still seems to be right on, but good to check. Okay. Do I have two there? Okay, wow. Great. So I could actually start the next stripe right now so that I don't forget which way that new butterfly is going to go. Sometimes I will do that as a crutch. For example, the next color is this baby blue. I would remember this anyway because I remembered having to needle in the brown, so I would know that the next one I didn't have to needle in, but so this one's going to go in the other direction in terms of meet and separate. That's just which direction this is wrapping around this edge warp is all I'm meaning by that. If there were more space here, it would be more obvious. But if I put this in now, then I will remember. There's two. And I could weave it all at once. I could have woven this whole thing line by line, except for the outline here. So see how this is nice and jagged because it's steps, and this is very smooth because I did that eccentric outline. Yes, Marcia, these are the best. So Marcia's asking about this. This is a quilter's rule. I have them in all sizes. I love these so much. I use them for design a ton. But these are like, I'm sure I got this at Michael's. Any craft store, any place that sells quilting fabric, like Joann's or any place like that, will have these, and they come in a million sizes. You can get, I have one that's 6 inches wide and like 20 inches long, and I use it all the time for making long square lines. I like it because I can see the lines underneath and make things square. But I tend to have them around, so I just grab them for measuring. But also I can see, instead of just having a ruler that shows me that this is 3 inches wide, I can see that it also lines up with the edges, which gives me a better feeling, because if I just had a thinner ruler, you know, if I'm holding the ruler a little bit cockeyed, it's not as obvious that it is actually 3 inches wide as this clear thing. Anyway, I love them. I have many of those. Summer has a good point too about the meet and separate. When you're adding a new shape, it can be always can be confusing. And I guess part of my thing about weaving with you guys on camera is just to demonstrate that I don't always just put it right in so that it's right, so that the meet and separate is correct. I often have to go back and fix things because it's too much mental effort to remember like which direction everything went. Sometimes there are cues and you know, but whoops, that was a mistake. For the most part, you get really good at learning how to fix the shed. That's just part of Tapestry. Maybe there should be a whole class called Fixing the Shed. All I'm saying is don't get discouraged if when you're weaving everything always seems to be in the wrong shed. It's often in the wrong shed for most of us, and you just learn how to fix it. Barbara, yes, this is a 26 cotton seine twine warp. So 26 is the thinnest that I know of cotton seine twine. And I like it for 12 EPI or closer. I used it on that hot flash piece at 16 EPI. Anything smaller than about 16, I think you would need to go to like a beading thread or something for warp that's thinner. Nan, good question. How can you tell if it's not in the right shed? So this isn't a very good piece to demonstrate that on, but if I'm weaving, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this against the black, Let's see if I can show you right here. So let me see if you can see that. I don't know if I can zoom in anymore. Oh, maybe I can. So this right here, this brown piece went across the top of this warp. I want the next weft to go under it. This brown one went over. The next weft, if it was brown or if it was blue, I want it to go under. So this is the right shed, because if I put this blue in here, it will do that. It will go right under that, sorry, where that is. So this one went over, this one went under. And that means the shed is correct. If this blue came in like this, nope. Sorry, I know you can't see that. Okay, so if this blue came in like this and then was going to wrap around this, this is the wrong shed. See how this one went over and that one went over? I think you can sort of see that. That would be two wefts in the same shed, and that would be incorrect. On the back, there would be lice right there. And if you do the same thing where they both go under a thing, the lice will be on the front. Hopefully that's somewhat clear. Your doubled warp ends look so tightly held together. Oh no, they just stay like that. I've never put glue on them, Barbara. I have used white glue on warp though, so school glue, Elmer's glue, because it washes out and it's, you know, kids can eat it, so I don't think it doesn't stain or anything. So I have, if I've had a warp that's fraying or something, I've put Elmer's glue on it, white glue. But I've never intentionally glued warps together. So let's see. We'll see how far this comes by the next time around, which will be next Wednesday. So, which is July, I believe it's July 1st, next Wednesday. I will be back, and maybe this will be finished, maybe not. I'll try to work on something that y'all can see a little bit better with a wider set, and working on some other projects. And it's been fun to talk to you. We'll also see whether I get my COVID haircut by next week. I doubt it. I'm gonna have to start wearing hats, so you'll just know if I have a hat on. That's why. So great. It's really fun to check in with everybody, and I will see you next Wednesday. Those of you who are around and not outside enjoying the sunshine or something. I don't think anybody's going too far anytime soon, at least hopefully. So I will see you next week. Same program. And we'll see what I have going on then. Thanks, you guys. See you next week.